Welcome to round 4 of the Tasmanian Rugby Union. We're coming to you live from the Don Recreation Ground, home ground of the Devonport Bulls. And we've got, it's hard to know what's going to happen in this game today. Bulls are fresh off absolute drubbing of University from last week. And Taroona had a tight one against Burnie. So they'll be looking to come back from a hard hit out, whereas Devonport just being distracted here by the officials in the in the middle of the field here. I think they're looking at the weather and trying to call the nice weather this way. There's a tiny light bit of rain falling at the moment. Nothing that will have any impact on the game, but yeah, interesting antics out there. And, anyway, I was just saying, close game for Taroona, just coming over the top of Burnie last week down at Hobart, whereas Devonport really walloped University up here. And that's been a good resurgence for the Bulls after the previous week's match against Launceston down there, where they really suffered from I think, a lack of players and, some issues against the Tigers. So it was a tricky one. Anyway, your teams for today. The Bulls here. Not a lot on the reserves bench for these guys. Some familiar names, though, in their starting 15 on the left. Particular noteworthy event today. The one and only Nipper Hayes is playing in his 250th match. And so good luck to Nipper today. He always puts in a good showing. And it'll be great to see him out there for his 250th. Couple of new names there that we haven't seen yet this year, or even they weren't around last year. Luke Spring out there in the number 13. Big fella playing out of the number 13 there for Devonport. Aliki Badavudi playing on the wing. So a couple of unfamiliar names. We'll be looking forward to seeing how they go. And good to see Connor Mack out there. We haven't seen him around playing for the Bulls in a little while. And just 3 on the bench there with another new name, Basil Tagar. Taroona. So they've travelled up from Hobart. They were supposed to have a championship second grade match against Burnie, but weren't able to get enough players, and they've managed to scrape through and find 23 to get here. I think they've actually maybe only got 22 here today, with Cody Hall flying into Devonport from King Island or somewhere today. I'm not sure. And hopefully trying to get here on time to play some rugby. But, pretty familiar names, and I'd say almost at their best 15 in their run-on side, with some interesting names in the reserve bench. Great to see Sam Graves playing again, a couple of matches this year. And the unfamiliar name there for you guys, but he's been around for a while, Sean Yost. And be good to see Philip Ring back on the field this year as well, playing off the bench for the Penguins. So just yet to see the Bulls take the field, but here comes Taroona running out, led by captain Anthony Lean. It's a funny day here at Devonport. The sun was shining when we arrived here a few hours ago. Blue skies everywhere. And then as the afternoons rolled on, it's become a little bit cloudy. There's a light breeze that'll definitely impact on kicking on the field. Here come the Bulls. Running out there. So, the breeze, I'm not sure. I can't really pick which direction it is, but it'll play around with the ball a little bit, and there's some possible rain in the air. We've just seen a tiny little bit falling that if it stays like that, it won't really have any impact on the game. And here they come. So looking forward to this match. It'll be interesting to see how Devonport follow on from their great form from last week. Taroona looking to win their 4th on the trot and remain the only undefeated team in the competition. Teams with their final conversations before they hit the field. Interesting out there looking, looks like Ruben Haney is wearing the number 10 today. He was originally listed to play as a loose forward. So it'll be, I'll be interested to see where he ends up today. Looks like where he's standing that he's actually going to be directing from the number 10 position. No Mark Mio out here today. Luke Bryan was actually listed in that position to start off as well. So we'll see, and the whistle goes, and we are away. Ball hits the ground and taken by Towie, who gives it off to Shapper and Tucker. Well tackled by Tavalagi. We know how well he can play, and Devonport will be really hoping that he can get on top of his game today. Hand goes out, though, for an advantage to Taroona, and they drive forward. No, Haney's certainly not looking like he's playing in a fly half position based on his defensive stance. He's getting out wide there now. Towie with a little bit of room in there. No, taken well by Mack around the ankles. Eves gives it off to Kazarine. He gets through. Just dishes off that pass. It's too low, and Devonport getting in the way. But everyone's offside out there, and we'll come back. Oh, no, not offside out there. Offside back on the other side of the field earlier. Maybe the gesture there is coming in on the side at the ruck. I'm not sure. But Taroona will take a penalty here just inside Devonport's 22. And they're going to have a shot and put some points on the board straight up. So good start there to the Penguins. Nice tackle down there by Tavalagi, and some solid defence across the front of the paddock there, across the front of the sticks as Taroona shifted that ball. Scott Eves out there in the number 9 for Taroona. Loves to pick and go, loves quick ball off the ruck, and he's got Kazarine outside him who's got some speed. In that situation there, Kazarine looked for the gap and looked for the offload in the tackle, and wasn't able to find his target, and that's why we see the ball come back here. Kick from Kazarine is good, and the visitors take first blood and put 3 points on the board, taking the lead after a couple of minutes. So we'll be keen to see who takes the kicking duty. Sam O'Keefe with the ball in his hand here. Not so often that you see front row prop with the kicking duties. Sam shapes to kick one way, goes the other, doesn't make the 10 though, and it's knocked on by Tavalagi, and will come back. So maybe not the best strategic option there with O'Keefe making that first kick. I'm sure if he gets another opportunity, he'll be looking to do better than that. All right, Taroona, centre field scrum. Nice view there, being able to see both back lines, defensive line out there. So no, it is Luke Bryan playing in the number 10 position, certainly at this point in defence. Maybe he just doesn't fit in the number 10. Lean dishes it off to Eves, but goes behind him a little bit. Eves decides to put the ball down in the low corner. It's taken by Tanti. And Shapper and Tucker gets a hand on him to slow him down. Tanti's very elusive, so it was good work from Shapper and Tucker to at least just slow Tanti up a little bit. Now the Bulls get their hands on the ball, and they'll look to drive forward. O'Keefe with a hit there. Gee, I tell you there, Reese Araroa going straight off his feet to seal that ball off, but he gets away with it. Bryan, no options outside, has a bit of a roll along the ground there, and the ball now comes back. Haney and Hayes can't decide who wants it, and it's gone backwards. But Mack now dishes it off. Finds Churchill, hitting a nice solid line, but he's well met. Ball comes out now. Bryan to Tabua. Eddington takes him to ground but doesn't hang on to him. And Taroona penalised at that last ruck for not rolling away. And the kick comes, and it's makes some good ground there for the Bulls. All right, throw in here. Hayes. Not working that line out, but I was going to say they might have gotten away with it, but there's an early jump, and then the line out throw is not straight. So Nipper in his 250th. Doesn't go well. We've got Sam Loper down there, who's not in the best shape. Just have a look. That line out, what happened to Loper? Here he is in the number 28. It's quite innocuous what happened, whether he's hurt his hand. Not sure what happened there. So we'll have a bit of a pause here. I might even stop the clock while the players stop and have a look at Loper and see what's happened to him. Just taking a look there. The Bulls having a chat. Luke Bryan just giving some direction here. See some gestures about lines and angles people are running, and but yeah, not in good shape there. He's Loper. He's really in some pain. I'm not sure whether he's pinched a nerve or whether his ankle was caught underneath. He's made very little contact with the Devonport player. I thought maybe he'd hurt his hand. He's getting up. Yeah, he's his ankle. So he's just his left ankle must have caught. All right, so disappointing there for Loper. Just being injured and help from the field. Thanks to Reese Araroa, I think, there for giving him a hand coming off. And Sonny Tavalagi as well. So just some assistance there from the Bulls players. Good to see. And we'll come back for that line-out discretion, where the Bulls did not throw the ball in straight, and Taroona now have the scrum feed just their side of the halfway line, 15 metres in from the left-hand side of the field. Good drive there from the Bulls at the scrum. Ball comes to Kazarine, dummies one way, gives it to Bird running an inside line, and he takes the ball to the halfway mark. Holman gets over that halfway line, and Eves pushes it out. Kazarine goes wide to Chaperon Tucker, who goes back inside to Dewindu, who gets hammered. And now the ball comes out to Lean, who Gain makes that gain line. So some good hard running from Taroona. Kazarine picks it up. No one home down the right-hand side. And he puts a left foot boot down there. Ball goes into touch and put down by Tavalagi, and that will see a goal line dropout. So good kick down into that bottom corner from Kazarine. Tavalagi waiting, hoping that it was going to go out, but it shanked back to the left. Forced him to ground that ball. And now Tavalagi's going to kick. Gives a wobbly one into the ground. Goes about 30 metres and finds Lean. Straightens up. Well taken by Haney and co. It was Young. Holman now running back in behind the ruck. Needs to get to ground. He does. And look for the blind side. Lean looking to dummy. And then ball goes back through the legs of Eves. We've got a penalty advantage. Holman trying to get his hands free for an offload. Can't do it. So good defence by the Bulls, except for that penalty advantage. And now Shapper and Tucker goes back inside, avoids the tackle of Tavalagi on that wing. Good work by Dehan coming through the ruck there. But we're going to come back for the penalty. All right. Clayton for Taroona with the throw in. It's going to go long to Lean. Looks good from our angle, and they go to Maul. Slow to get there. And they're not making any ground. Eves ducks around, looking for Shapper and Tucker. Tavalagi's got him. Shapper and Tucker gets the ball back. Ducks around the blind. There's only metres around there for him to fit in. Manages to stay in. So nice work by Shapper and Tucker on that side. He's had plenty of the ball. Eves looking for someone. Gives it to Clayton, who drives but can't quite make the line. Now Towie, he's going to be hard to stop. He's very strong, but great defence by the Bulls on the line. Now to Kazarine. To Tuivasa. He looks to run through, but he's not going to get through Tabua and Luke Spring. Two very, very large centres out there who were quite happy, I think. And in the end, Kazarine goes wide to Blowfield. He gets past the first tackle, but the Bulls get there in numbers. They need to roll, though. Haney there just gets driven off it. Clayton again. Curtis comes in. Clayton avoids him. Good commitment in defence here by the Bulls getting up there. This time O'Keefe getting in the way of Holman. Quick ball from Eves. Kazarine. Tuivasa passes this time. Dewindham has a look though, because he's got Sonny Tavalagi running straight at him. And no good there for Taroona. As Dewindham puts his eyes up and gets absolutely caned by Sonny Tavalagi whilst dropping the ball at the same time. Just check it on the replay here. Dewindham's eyes are up. He can see Tavalagi coming. He knows he's there. And it was a great tackle by Sonny. Great defence. So good defence by the Bulls. Taroona looking to shift it, trying a few pods working together and not making any ground and just getting a little bit impatient, I think, the Penguins. And great solid defence by the Bulls to turn that foray around and get the ball out of here. That said, they're not out of here yet. Ball comes back to Brian. The nice clearing kick. Gets the ball into touch. Well outside the 22. So a little bit of breathing space for the Bulls, but Penguins with the ball back in their possession. Throw goes very high and well taken by Lean. Comes out now. Eves, Kazarine. Gives it to Eddington and he's well met by three defenders. Again, Tuivasa. Goes to Bird. Bird gets around the outside. He dishes it off to Blowfield, but it goes behind him. Blowfield lucky not to cause an accidental offside. They need to release him, though. He's definitely got his knees to the ground. Eves goes wide to Kazarine. Towie. Good tackle by O'Keefe. Ball comes back. Eves. Defence from the Bulls getting up really quickly. Nice work by Dehan that time. He's done it a few times. There's a big gap here on the inside. Now they go wide. Dewindham gets it to Shapper and Tucker. He's around the outside and taken out. So just crossing the 22-metre line. And Tavalagi makes the tackle on Shapper and Tucker. Gets up with a bit of a limp, does George. Good contact down there. Just fixing his boot, is he? Comes back, he's fine. So again, just great sportsmanship shown there by Tavalagi, just to check on Shapper and Tucker there. Had a good battle down that side as well. So Tavalagi making a difference in defence out there. Taroona struggling to get the ball around the Bulls' defence. Tuivasa now with the ball, gives it to Bird. Steps beautifully, hangs onto it. Nice tackle by Tabua though. Eves. Beautiful tackling again. Badavudi this time, the winger for the Bulls, taking Eves as he tried to dart through. And good contact on Holman there. I think that was Tabua as well, making the secondary tackle, hitting Holman in the ribs. Just see him jerking backwards. Taroona still pushing, many phases here. Brocklehurst on the field, dishes it off to Tuivasa. Can he get around? Looks like he can. And he reaches and he scores. So eventually, after a lot of phases, a lot of pressure, the Bulls' defence was looking great, but we see Leon Tuivasa getting around the outside and putting on the points for Taroona. It was a good build-up. The defence was really excellent, but just this ball here from Brocklehurst was really good. And Araroa just didn't quite have the pace to get Tuivasa around the outside. Mack and Curtis coming over as well in desperation, but Tuivasa was able to straighten up, run back in and put on 5 points. And Taroona now push their score out to 8. Devonport yet to score. And Kazarine will look to put on the extra 2. He's just on the 5-metre line, 5 metres from touch. Here, Anthony Lean talking to the Taroona team there. Kick looks pretty good. No, across the front, straight into the hands of Tavalagi. So no conversion. Score stays at Taroona 8, Devonport 0. 15 minutes down. O'Keefe makes sure of his kick this time. It's a really good one. Bird gets under it. Can't get away from Haney though. Taroona support arrives and Eves dishes it off. Thomas with the gets it off and the wrap around to Harrison. Tuivasa, the try scorer, throws the pass, bounces off Tavalagi and taken by Anthony Lean. So a fortunate one there for the Penguins. And Taroona take it forward again. Eddington gives it off. They might win this one. Good work there by Owen Dehan at the breakdown. Brocklehurst didn't let it go. Dehan held onto it for long enough to earn the penalty. Nice work by Dehan to earn his team the penalty, and Brian will look to drive it down. He's going to kick it to our tent. There it is, on the roof. over the back.
We are outside.
And the call there from referee Des Fogarty is this line out is outside the 22.
Watching Plato.
Although Nipper Hayes is definitely lined up inside the 22. Ball taken by Taroona. And the ball goes to Kazarine. He kicks long up the middle. It's going to hit the ground in front of Tabua. Bounces as you would not expect, sideways. Tabua gets there though, and he's met by Lean, followed by Towie, but the cavalry's out there for the Bulls, and Tanty's got it. He easily fends off Bird, but Shapper and Tucker makes the tackle, and then gets around and makes the second. A lot of jumper scragging out there by Shapper and Tucker, but he's holding up the Bulls' attack. So been well involved in this game so far as Shapper and Tucker, and Taroona make the penalty. And good work at the breakdown. So great effort there by Shapper and Tucker to get around. All right, Taroona now, another attacking opportunity. So the Bulls finding it hard to get out of their own half. Had an opportunity out there and lost the line out. Those set pieces need, or certainly the line out set piece needs to pick up for those guys. And Taroona get the ball out again. Eddington stepping off his left, and he's getting through too. Gets away from everybody. Probably a slightly high tackle from behind there from Araroa. Just slipped up a little bit. And Taroona now only 5 metres out. Ball comes to Eddington again, who started that one. He's very hard to take down. Eves looking, who's he going to give it to? He goes really wide, but doesn't find Kazarine. Tuivasa stands solidly in the tackle from Tabua. And Taroona with another phase right in front of the posts. Eves to Lean. Carries it in 2 hands, gets taken to ground nicely out there by Luke Bryan. Bird now dishes it off to Thomas. Good hands from him. Goes out wide to Shapper and Tucker, and he goes over. And the referee says knocked on, but I think we might. Oh, it looked all right on our screen. We'll hit the replay in a second. Here it is. Just have another look here. Oh, behind some feet. I think it was good though. I'm probably guessing. But the referee was in a better position than us, and he calls that dropped. So bad luck there to Shapper and Tucker, who's played really well, and some good footwork out there to get around. But equally good defence from the Bulls to force the mistake. Scrum time. And Mack with the put in. Taroona drive, well scrummed by the Bulls. Comes wide. Tanty, they want to cut him down. He gets away. Jewindham can't take him either. This time Eddington from behind makes the penalty, makes the tackle, and great running from Jamie Tanty back there. Gets his team on the front foot. Ball now. Need to look out. Clayton has that one. Oh, he's going to be penalised there for probably going off his feet. Well, he looked all right, but he put his weight on the ball. Solid hit there from Lean on the big body of Luke Spring. We're going to come back for a penalty. Interesting that one. Clayton had his hands on the ball and was taken to ground in the ruck, but penalised. I think maybe he was deemed to have gone off his feet before the Bulls player got hold of him. And the Bulls have opted for a scrum here. Oh, come back a little bit too late on the replay. So just taking some time here, waiting for Camden Churchill, I think, there to fix his shoelaces. Scrummage, both teams' forward packs really evenly matched at the scrum. Keen to watch what unfolds here. And they've gone down in the front row. While we're waiting, I'll bring you the scores from the rest of the competitions, Premiership matches today. 4 matches on, as usual. We've got Launceston versus Hobart at Royal Park in Launceston, so home match for the Tigers again. And that one's relatively close, not quite as close as this one. So Tigers there currently on 10 and Hobart on 0. They'll be similar time, halfway through the first half. The only match in Hobart this weekend played between Harlequins and Glenorchy, and Quins are in the lead there, 15-8. Ball comes to the back here now for Mack. And they switch sides and go really wide to Tanti. He's so dangerous, and they really need to shut him down. He just gets over the line. He's got amazing burst of pace, Tanti, but this one, no good. And the Bulls getting pinned there for going off their feet at the ruck. So Taroona get away with that one. It's a nice run. See referee Jerry Scott in the background there, not very happy. So just watch as they come around here. Tanti's there, goes in, and it's Tavalagi, I think, penalised in that case for just going off his feet. He was nowhere near the ball. And Taroona have put that ball into touch about 10 metres down the field. There's another match up the road at Burnie. I'm sure everyone always calls Burnie up the road from Devonport. It's a little bit further than just up the road. Probably as you'd expect up there, Burnie in the lead, comfortably at this stage, 22-6. Clayton doesn't find his mark with the line out, goes over the top, and it's taken by the Bulls. Tavalagi gets his hands on the ball. Is taken to ground and eventually lays it back for his team, who take a while to get there, but they had a long way to go back. Curtis runs into Brocklehurst and Lean. And Spring stays on his feet. Hayes looks for the offload. Tanti, again, they need to shut him down. They do. They need to get away from that ball there. Harrison making that tackle. And Taroona remaining stoic in defence, not letting the Bulls through. They've got some space out here, though. Oh, there he goes to Hahn. Ball in 2 hands. Gets it off to Tavalagi. Shapper Tucker again grabs hold of his shirt, holds him up and waits for the support defence to arrive, and they get him to ground. Very, very entertaining battle out on that wing from Tavalagi and Shapper Tucker. They had the ball around them a lot of times. And Lean grabs Tavalagi and flings him over the sideline. And it's all happening. So some exciting rugby out here. It's scrappy. No team really able to get on top, but some good play from both sides. Just as from this phase here, this ball somehow bounced out. I think it was ripped out maybe by Holman. And Tavalagi grabs it, but Anthony leans right on top of him. Anyway, the ball has come out. Line out's been thrown. Taroona have the ball. Another attacking chance here. Thomas goes into contact. Hayes still there. O'Keefe. Eves. They've got some space out here. Kazarine with a little grubber through, but he puts it into touch. He had some numbers outside him, I thought. He must have thought so too, but the kick just found touch rather than staying in. And the Bulls will have a line out about 10 metres out from their own line. Hayes with the throw, finds Churchill. That is not the quarter time siren, that is the Don River Railway horn that you can hear. Very exciting down here. We've got trains nearby. Very, very famous institution from Devonport. #1 tourist attraction up here. It's unfortunate that we don't have a view of it through the trees over here. I'm sure Sam, our cameraman, would be all over that. And the ball goes up. Lean just manages to get his hands on it, but it bounces back, and I think into the hands of Young. Solid hit there on Araroa, who's been busy so far today. Curtis now. Again, Taroona hunting in numbers. They're going to hold him up here. No, he manages to get to ground. He's a strong number 8, Curtis. And Araroa again getting the ball, but behind the gain line, and Taroona's defence getting up very quickly, working in unison. O'Keefe slips around with the spin and loses it on the ground. Must have been a hand in there. And Bulls looking for a quick tap here. And they go. Ball goes out now. Bird holds up Badavudi and does it well. They get around the back here. The ball comes out slowly and the Bulls are in trouble. Bird's all over that. Mack hasn't released it, but it's been turned over. And a low grass cutter there from Tabua on Tuivasa. And Hayes there is off his feet. Coming in on the side too. Eves, he's always looking for a quick tap there. Devonport certainly weren't ready to be back and defending. But you can just see in the replay there, Bird had that ball and ended up dishing it out to Towie. That one bounced. Tabua with the contact on Tuivasa there, knocked him backwards in the air. Entertaining, but some illegal play at the breakdown, and Taroona have now put the ball into touch. And they're only about 8 metres from the Devonport goal line. They've been down here a lot. They'd love some more points. The Bulls have turned them around quite a few times. Defence from the Bulls has been solid. And it's just some discussions here between both captains. Not sure what's enfolded for that to occur. Certainly a very noisy game. Perhaps too many players trying to tell the referee what to do. And we'll come back to Clayton with the throw-in. His line-out throws have not been exactly on the mark there. This one is. And the ball gets handed back. I think there's probably some illegal work at the maul there. That ball was handed back to Holman. I'm not sure what is happening on the ground there with Young. Young's off his feet and just grabs that ball and pushes it back. And then Holman ends up with the ball in his hands. Both players on the ground. And we do have a penalty to Taroona. But confusion going on. I don't know what was going on, why players are both off their feet grabbing at the ball. And Kazarine puts it out. So the line-outs from both sides not convincing today. On that last one, Harrison received the ball because the Bulls didn't contest, but he was almost dropped, and then he dished that ball off to Holman, and there was clear separation between them as Holman drove through. So they're lucky to get away with that. And this time they'll go to Lean, and they take him down, and he drives forward. So that's a better line out, but the Bulls not contesting, and Taroona managing to get the ball back. And Eves goes around. Too elusive for me. I couldn't pick him on the field. And he had, I think, Kazarine on the outside, and Nipper Hayes got across, but had to cover 2 of them. And in the end, too good from Scott Eves as he goes around the blind side. Kazarine was there. He dummied O'Keefe. He's probably loitering offside there, I think. O'Keefe too. And some good work. So Penguins managed to get some points from that that attacking set of phases. And Kazarine will kick from almost identical location to the last one. Looks like Tom Curtis has had some new tattoo work on that left leg since last year. He's got the whole front of it done. We don't call it a sleeve. Do we call it a trouser? It's got a full, almost full trouser on the left leg. It's definitely only the front half. Be keen to take a look later at what he's got on there. And O'Keefe gave his team a great crack at the last kickoff. And he'll go again this same way. And it's another great kick. This time Brocklehurst gets under it. And taken by Haney and Curtis. Haney needs to let him go. And does so. And the ball comes back to Kazarine, who gets over the head of the winger. But Tanty's back there. Tanty's, no one's helping him. And two come in to tackle him. Often needed there with Jamie Tanty. He's got steps off both feet very, very effectively. Now Curtis, manages to hang on to it. Ball bubbles off his chest. They'll hold him up. No, they won't hold him up again. Too strong, and he gets to ground. Now they come out. O'Keefe runs straight into Kazarine, who grabs the shirt, pulls him to ground. And eventually, right where our tent is, Badavudi from Devonport is bundled over the line. He did a great job to stay in for until a couple of tacklers came, but they were too strong, and Taroona pushed him over the line. So just some subs happening for Devonport. It's the first time we've seen the ball this far down the field. And Taroona will need to kick. Connor Mack coming from the field, so not a good sign. Tavalagi coming into the halfback position. And they go to the front, tap down. Ball comes to Kazarine. And he gives to Bird. They're going to run it out of here. Tuivasa gets past the tackle of Spring and hangs onto it. Maybe one tackle too long, though. Allows Devonport's defence to get back in. And they're all over the top of that. I'm not sure who it was. The penalty's gone the other way. Eve's thinking that it's their ball. Certainly when the whistle was blown, there was nobody on their feet except for, I think, Araroa at the breakdown, who was nowhere near the ball. Must have been Young, I think, getting on top of that. Oh, can we see it on the replay? Here it is. And they've kicked for touch and found it. Yeah, I'll tell you what, you've got to be quick on the breakdown here today. It seems pretty easy to win a penalty for your team if you can get your hands on that ball. So great work by Matthew Young there. Just that first clean out really needed to take him away. And Young loses it at the line out though, and it's taken by Taroona. He's taking his time to get it out. Definitely some off play there, offside play by the Bulls. Going a little bit early and then not getting back on side. We had a good view of that. They really want to clear it out of here though. It's great pressure by the Bulls, and Taroona do get a clear and kick. Reese Araroa, not sure what he's doing. Oh no, it's not Reese. I think Courtney Harris has come on. And he goes out wide and drops it and then throws the ball off to Canberra Churchill, who also drops it. And now Dewindham decides a quick play on's the way to go. And runs the ball back to the halfway. Eddington gets past the first tackle. Towie dishes it off. Thomas to Harrison. He's got not many options outside him. And I tell you, there you go again. I tell you, got to be very quick. Only one hand on that ball. So penalties being earned by the Bulls for putting pressure on at the breakdown. And they'll kick for touch. Just again here, it was merely a second at this ruck. Hands on the ball. So, Bulls with another chance now in attack. Ball just outside the 22. And ball misses, but taken at the back, but not straight. So serious line-out woes for the Bulls. Nipper in his 250th, just not quite being able to get the ball where he wants it. And Taroona will have a scrum outside the 22. So if the ball's kicked, it'll need to stay in play. Oh, they may even go to run it again. You can see the hands, the whispering hands of the Taroona backline. Eves now, scrum goes down. Cameraman hasn't picked up the chickens in the background as yet. Usually animal cam is happening. We might get a zoom in on the chickens before half time. Still a few minutes left in this half. Eves now nearly loses the ball. Taroona. Great scrumming again by the Bulls. Now Kazarine with a terrible pass. They want to get on that quickly, and it's Dean backwards. Should be penalised here, Young. No, he's got away with that. Some shonky rugby here from both sides. Oh dear, they want to get this ball out of here quickly, Taroona, because the Bulls are stampeding in. Young was very lucky back at that last breakdown. He got to his feet to try and get the ball and just fell over the top of it. And Taroona managed to get it out. Eves now having a look. Goes back to Kazarine, who says, no, I'm out of here. It's not going to find touch, though. And Tanti lands on his chest. Runs a straight line. He can't crawl, though. But apparently you can crawl after you've been tackled. So I don't know what's going on with the rules of rugby today, but a bit confusing. And the Bulls on the rampage. Curtis now just makes the gain line. Doesn't get his team really on the front foot here. And they take some time. And now, I think, a penalty. Oh, we get a penalty this time. And this time, the Bulls push the ball back. So we're coming back. James Holman, I think, at the back of that ruck, maybe not rolling away. Just trying to get out of the way of the ball, I think. It's one of those tough situations. Tavalagi with a quick tap. And the Bulls now, 5-6 metres out. O'Keefe and Holman meet. And it's a bit of a stalemate, though. O'Keefe gets another metre in contact. Ball now comes out. Brian Tabua. Still not past the 5 metre line. Ball accidentally gets kicked back by the Bulls. And Taroona all over it. But no, the penalty must have been kicked by Taroona. I thought it came off the Bulls' foot. And the Bulls now with their tails up, getting so close here. Only a metre away. Great work by the Bulls, just playing the whistle and playing their own smart game. Tabua taken to ground, loses a metre. Curtis, he's going to be hard to stop here. And he gets over, but I dare say they've held him up. And great refereeing there by Fogarty, but no, he's found another penalty. High tackle somewhere. Camden Churchill's just needs to go back. And they've gone the quick tap. It's not a very quick tap. A tap. O'Keefe now. Tavalagi goes to Brian. He's got some numbers outside him. Ankle tackle, and it's dished off. And I didn't even see that pass. What a pass from Luke Spring to find Badavudi and the Bulls, after some incessant attack, have managed to put points on the board. So great work by the Bulls. I didn't even see this pass. Oh, look at the pass. That's amazing. Great work. Defenders really weren't ready for it either. So excellent work there from the Bulls to get those points. Certainly had a lot of indiscretions from Taroona, penalty after penalty. And we'll run into half-time, I dare say, after this conversion is kicked, and the Bulls will be pretty happy with that. They really spent 30 of that 40 minutes defending inside their own half, deep inside their own half. Brian with the kick, looks pretty good. And he makes the points. And that is half-time. All right, we're back after that halftime break. Apologies for the quick cut-off there at the end of the half. I didn't get to do a recap. I pushed the wrong button and muted everything and sent us to the halftime screen. So just a quick recap, though, of the match. It's been a close one. Taroona really on top, but the Bulls' defence been very stoic and being able to hold Taroona out to keep them to 2 tries. But the Bulls in the last probably 5 to 10 minutes really came back, and the first opportunity that they had getting the ball into their own or attacking end into Taroona's 22, and they put the pressure on. They earned themselves a lot of penalties through great work at the breakdown and just putting pressure on. Even when Taroona had the ball, the Bulls getting their hands on it, on the ball on the ground in the after the tackle. And they were able to put on one late try after an amazing offload by Luke Spring. It was such a good offload, I didn't even see it. I was watching in real time. And he's offloaded it, and his winger, Badavudi, was able to put on the points. So we'll start this half now with O'Keefe with the kick. And the Bulls running downhill are always hard to stop here at Don. All right, O'Keefe now. Kicks high, finds Brocklehurst, who's been good since he's come on. I think he was the replacement for Sam Loper, who went off with an injury, with an injured ankle pretty early in the game. What seemed fairly innocuous. I think he just had a player fall on his ankle, and he was in a lot of pain as he came off. Eves now looking to dart around, goes back. Oh, the hand there of Camden Churchill. Clayton takes the ball out wide. Now the ball comes to Lean, and the defence of the Bulls is solid again. Bird can't catch that low pass, looks up just at the wrong time. Trying to be proactive in attack and drops it. So the Bulls, great start for them now, putting the pressure on. Taroona forced into errors. And Tavalagi there in the number 14 has come into the halfback position. Connor Mack came from the field. May have been a tactical substitution. Mack, there's a very short bench, only 3 players on the bench today for the Bulls. So Mack will have a rest. We might see him come back on a little later. Don't think he was injured. I think it may have just been a tactical substitution. Now Tavalagi finds Brian to Tabua. Bird now picks this one up. He's got some support outside him. And Shapper Tucker has some pace. Does he have the pace to get past Tandy and Tavalagi? He absolutely does. And George Shapper Tucker, after a really solid start to the match, being denied a try down the other end, gets around the outside after a mistake from the Bulls. And the Penguins hit back very quickly in the second half. And the celebrations are on out there. Comes the run from Shapper and Tucker, just off a missed pass, and he does have pace to get her away from Tandy. It's impressive, and he makes sure he puts that one down. So disappointment just there for the Bulls. They were looking good, forcing the mistake from Taroona, but Shapper and Tucker gets around the outside and sends his team to 18 points. So in the battle between Shapper and Tucker and Tavalagi not playing on the wing at the moment, actually. So that battle that really unfolded in particularly the first 20 minutes between those two was entertaining. This time, Shapper and Tucker are able to get around the outside, and the conversion is made. And Taroona now regain that 13-point lead. So an exciting defensive start to the Bulls. Just one little mistake there turned into a quick try. Ironic there that Ollie Bird for Taroona was the one who dropped it and turned that ball over with a low ball around his shins, and picked up that one though when he had the chance and was able to put Shaffer and Tucker into some space. Ball taken by Taroona. And it goes to Hardy, who looks for Blowfield, but there's too much traffic out there. And some big boys, they need to release him. Ball now comes back. Thomas, he's been solid. Lean. Ball in two hands. They need to release him here. This time Eves finds a little bit of a gap, but can't get away from Tavalagi, and he stops him, so Tabua and O'Keefe get in and hold up the drive from the Penguins. Again, this really, really solid defence from the Bulls. Taroona just taking their time, looking for a gap. Eddington, taken by Brian. Nice to have a very, very solid fly half like Brian. Eves decides he's got not many options outside him, and so he kicks. We've got a penalty advantage though. Jordan Eddington down there for Taroona with a sore shoulder, and Lewis Thomas for Taroona also holding his shoulder. Not quite sure what the penalty was for down there. Wise words there from Sam O'Keefe that you may well have picked up. Keep working, Bulls. And absolutely, they're going to be tired. They've defended so hard. They need to be able to run that defence out for the rest of this half if they're going to make this 13 points back. They have to defend harder and see if they can release Tanti out in that back line. Get him into some space, or Tavalagi. Oh, he's going to... That's a nice looking kick, but doesn't make touch. And tapped in. Oh, Dahan manages to pick that one up. And here he goes, Jamie Tanti. Darts through one way and the other, and straight through a gap between the front row. Dewindham finally gets around his ankles, and the ball gets knocked out. So, oh, got to be careful there. Bit of a lift there from, I'm not sure who made that tackle. But the penalty is going to come, I think, for, no, it must be an accidental offside. Eves not happy, so it's all happening. Great run from Tanti. Watch this run straight through the front row, pretending he's the Taroona hooker. Dewindham managed to get his hands on him. Not sure what happens to Eves. It's in this next one. Does he make this tackle? Bit of a sort of driving tackle. No, it's Eddington there. Doesn't get him above the horizontal, but I tell you, it was risky. And then Eves copped something down the bottom, and looks like he's okay. Dr. Scott, all the way from the UK. I'm sure his family fans back home are watching today. Though it's quite early in the morning. It's a great scrum from the Bulls, and they've earned a penalty. It's nice to be able to scrum down the hill there. It's a pretty decent slope. Tavalagi goes the tap. Lean manages to just grab one of his ankles and hold him in place. And now Curtis taken around quickly by Holman and Clayton. And the Bulls now slowly. Ball comes back. Young to Tabua. No, to Haney. Solidly met. And we know one thing about the Bulls, they're persistent. We've got a penalty advantage their way. Holman there needs to get out of the way. He's not going to. Ball's nowhere near him. And it's taken. Araroa has a drive. They make a few metres. Still advantage. Ball goes slowly. Oh, way behind Brian. And quite rightly so. Referee Fogarty there's a high tackle in there, right. Referee Fogarty brings it back because that pass was going nowhere. Tavalagi tries to run through the second row of Taroona and gets nowhere. O'Keefe now. Met by Thomas, and O'Keefe wins the battle, gets driving forward. If they can hold, they've held him up now. So we're going to fall over. I don't think we'll see a try scored here, and he'll be held up over the line. So that'll be a goal line dropout to Taroona. Good pressure there from the Bulls. Eves with the ball in his hand. He's got to kick this 5 metres. No one's ready. It's not like the 22-metre dropout where it only has to clear the line. Eves with a shocker. Could see some space back there, and he gives Araroa a lovely opportunity to drive forward. Lean now getting away from the ball to Brian. Tuivasa just needs to make sure he wraps those arms, and in the end, Holman tries to take that one from Camden Churchill, and he wins the penalty. Just not Leon Tuivasa. A couple of the last tackle attempts, he's not really got those arms out. He needs to be careful. Those are the kinds of tackles that attract unwanted attention from referees if you're not putting your arms around the player in the tackle, and a couple of just solid front on hits from him where he's kind of bounced off. May see him in trouble if he keeps that up. Oh, and the line out throw was straight, but we're going to see Brocklehurst held up here. And no one's doing anything here. Everyone's just standing there. Yeah, we know what's going to happen. I love the pat on the head there from Owen Dahan. That's hilarious. Brocklehurst, he can see the humour in that too. Just caught the ball and had nowhere to go, and they held him up straight away. So good to see no one in that situation did anything stupid. We'll just wait for the referee to blow the whistle. Good work by the Bulls. Good pressure at the line out. Line outs from both teams just not really clicking today. Tavalagi will have a chance here. Has he got the cunning to get around Scott Eves from Taroona? If he can get around the bond, they do. Curtis goes with him. Pressure's on though from the Penguins, and they hold the run of the Bulls. O'Keefe, it's been good this half. Got his hands on it in the first half too. Got his hands on the ball a few times, but that's knocked on by the Bulls, so disappointing. And again, we'll see Brocklehurst with the ball in his hands, and everyone can just stop. Yeah, let's have the scrum. 20-7. Can the Bulls get a turnover at this scrum? They did so earlier. They managed to score a penalty against Taroona's feed. Let's have a quick look at the scores in the other matches. Launceston versus Hobart at Royal Park. Launceston maintaining a lead there. Not a big lead, very comfortable, but not like they've had in their last few hitouts. So 22-0 up against Hobart. Eves now passes the ball. Kazarine. Tuivasa gives it to Bird, who breaks the tackle and gets away. He's got some space. He's got Dewington outside him, and Tabawa gives the high tackle. That's a forward pass there. But the tackle over the shoulder needs to be called there. You can't grab the player by the collar in a tackle. Definitely the correct call with a forward pass, but those tackles over the shoulder usually are penalised. So well called though. That's the right decision. That ball was definitely forward. It's a good pickup too. Great pickup by Shaffer and Tucker, but Sam Tabawa worked so hard here. Just that tackle to grab by the collar. It's not very dangerous really, but it is usually deemed a high tackle if you grab the collar. So the Bulls, great work again. Sam Tabawa, great chase down. And Tavalagi with the put in behind our tent. They're calling the scrum up. Not sure why. Too keen was the word. Okay, I didn't see what was going on. I think they might have set before the call. Bulls will want to get out of here, although they need points. And they've gone down, and the penalty goes to Taroona in this case. Bulls not maintaining their feet on the set, so Taroona getting away with one there after the forward pass, and Kazarine puts the ball into touch.
The second hand was a deception.
A great view of the camera up here. You can see the slope on the hill. And both players, Young and Lean, pull that down. See the ball. I don't know what's going to happen here. It's on the Bulls' side, so well done to the Bulls to get that one out there. Tavalagi, he's going to look for Brian. Is he going to kick it? Yes, he is. Oh, it's a shonky kick. But we've seen plenty of those. And not sure what... The ball's been kicked by... Check the replay on this one. I didn't really see. I didn't see what happened. The kick from Brian hit a number of players and bounced back over the line. And we'll see it really clearly here. Yeah, definitely offside, Holman. It's come off the boot of Hardy. So well done by Fogarty. Got that right. I think it was knocked on by Devonport first. So it came off the hand of Brocklehurst, then off the hand of someone from Devonport, and then onto the boot of forward off the hand of Devonport, and then onto the boot of Jack Hardy. So that's exceptional refereeing. Well done, sir. Very well done. But Taroona now with the scrum 7 metres out. And Eves gets around the side. I don't think he's got that. He doesn't have the support with him. Solid hit there. And Curtis has gone off his feet. So bad luck to Curtis. And they're all offside. Tavalagi offside there by a mile. Should receive a yellow card for that. That's cynical play. Don't want to. I'm probably sounding a little bit too one-sided. I apologise here. But we'll see if anything unfolds from that. There's not even I don't even think there's a referee's hand out for an advantage. Holman's close, driven back, great defence. Bulls are defending brilliantly. Again, Eves tries to go himself, but can't make it. Lots of hands in there. Holman looks for some support. Haney gets underneath him. I think we're going to come back, and we may. The double blow of the whistle shows that the referee's not happy, and I think Tavalagi's going to go. So for the tackle on Eves without retiring. Apologies to everyone for for my commentary at the moment. I'm confused. Let's focus my voice on the rugby instead of the referee. How about that? All right, Eves now with the ball. And the tap to Holman. Goes one way, goes the other, but the Bulls' defence has been outstanding. And Holman lying on the ground. Puts the ball down and then brain fart, picks it up and throws it. So great counter ruck by the Bulls, and they turn Taroona away yet again.
There's got to be some separation there. There's two on him and there's no clear daylight.
It's all good, we just got to adapt, boy. Just got to adapt.
And Brian with the kick. Puts it out. It's a good clearing kick for his team. Gets them outside the 22. But they've got to win this line out, and it's not been something either team's been very confident at today. Hayes with the throw. Bit breezy at the moment out there too. And we've got a substitution. Both sides substitutions. Connor Mack coming off. Back on rather. And he'll come into halfback, which he needs to do because we've got we've got the yellow card there for Tavalagi. So we'll come into the halfback. And that ball didn't make the 5 metre line, but we're playing on. We've got an advantage out. Looks like a handout for an advantage to the Bulls. And Tanti not taken to ground. We're going to come back. Back and check out. Definitely didn't go 5, but looks like the Bulls are getting the ball. There's definitely a good spirit out there amongst the players. I think it seems the players are both teams are playing seemingly with a little bit of frustration. It's a scrappy game, and that's understandable. But there seems to be quite a good spirit between them. Replacement player in the front row there for Brocklehurst coming off. The replacement is Sean Yost, playing his first game for Taroona for the year, maybe for a long time actually. See him there in the extra leg gear in the number 17 with the beard. Bulls there just with only 7 players in this scrum, so no flanker on this blind side. Haney actually has come into the halfback position, coming off that scrum, and Mack has gone to the fly half position. Brian must be in there. I think Brian's in the front row, so Taroona looking forward to this one, but Haney falls over. Curtis picks up the ball and runs back into his own scrum. Interesting, they'll get that one. I'm not sure why they'll get that one back. I'm confused.
Good drive, Floyd.
All right, so eventually, after all that, the Bulls get the ball. And Curtis has a run. He hasn't had a lot of space, a lot of opportunity for space. Taroona looked like they may have stolen that one, but no. Good recovery from the Bulls. This time Brian goes to ground. Just and picking the ball up on the ground. Not sure what Yost thinks he's doing. And the tap taken, but in the wrong place. No. And there's another new law. Change to that law. If the ball is tapped and then run incorrectly, that was something we've seen earlier this year with an incorrect tap. The ball's actually turned over. But the Bulls, again, their tails up. And that's a great kick. 25 metres out now, an attacking opportunity, 13 points behind. And the throw, tapped down by Young. Haney under pressure, gets past Holman, can't quite get past Eves. Bryan comes in now, makes that halfback position. Taboo with the ball over the top. Who's it going to bounce for? Blowfield can't get it. Comes out wide. Tanty's got some space. No, he doesn't. Blowfield needs to roll out of there quickly. And the ball comes to Curtis. He's lifted, has Tom Curtis. Same with O'Keefe. Ball comes out now. Dehan played well. Yost can't quite get that one. He's putting some pressure on his Yost, but it's risky pressure. Haney, the quick ball, finds Tabua. Runs past the defensive line of Taroona, but held on to. Big dummy. Big dummy there from O'Keefe. Loses his shorts in the meantime. But Eddington, I think, is over the top of that one. And we got another offside player here with the tackle. Sam Tabua is only 4 metres back, and he's going to have a sit down too. So we'll put up another yellow card there, but just the defensive pressure from the Bulls is so good, but they're just getting too enthusiastic in these situations. And Scott Eves now twice has milked penalties for players significantly offside, tackling him after a quick tap. So that's going to be hard for the Bulls now. They're down to 13 for a little while. And just gives Taroona a little bit of breathing space now. They were under pressure. Won the penalty, but scrappy play. They're doing a great job, the Bulls, in stopping Taroona from scoring, but they really need to maintain possession when they've got it if they're going to bridge this gap. There's still time. It's 2 converted tries. That's all the Bulls need. And they're more than capable of that. And the man in the odd boots out in the number 15 for the Bulls is the danger man, Jamie Tanty. Every time he gets the ball, it's scary for Taroona, and they really struggle to defend against him. All right, Eddington now straightens up, gets inside Curtis, but drops it. Looking for that inside ball, and went to give it, but it wasn't there, and then loses it. So ball given back to the Bulls with an attacking scrum, middle of the field, but they're 2 players short. So there's not. I think we'll see Tavalagi back on fairly soon. I think that might have been the gesture that Fogarty gave, was one minute possibly. So that'll be good for the Bulls if they can make it. Maybe waste a bit of time on this scrum. Milk that time off the clock so they can get Sonny back on, because he is another danger man for them. And scrum's messy. And Taroona again driving early, and Curtis gets some space. Taken to ground. Holman all over that ball. Okay. So it seems the Bulls again now driving forward. Churchill, he's been outstanding today, Camden. And we've got a man down here. It's Lewis Thomas for Taroona, and we've just called the ball up here. He's in a precarious position there and not happy about something. So just unfortunate there for the Bulls. Once you get in that situation where there's a scrambling defence and you've worked hard to mess Taroona's structures up, it's unfortunate that that they'll have to go back and reset with a scrum. We'll probably see Tavalagi come back on the field, though, so they'll at least be able to push 7 into the scrum, if not 8. Just taking their time here with Thomas, making sure that before he moves, everything's okay. He has a drink while he's on the ground, I think. Oh. Deciding what the process will be. We might go back and have a look at some of the highlights of this half. Just very early in the half, some pressure play there. Great driving at that ruck by the Bulls to win that penalty, and James Holman, out of frustration, picks the ball up. He's not happy about the decision. He knew he did the wrong thing, but something happened before that didn't impress him. But again, that's just the ruck pressure from the Bulls has been really good. Line out happened there. Didn't go 5, but maybe a knock-on from Taroona at the front was deemed. And then it was a good opportunity here to run it wide. Tanti taken down by Bird, but not held onto. And he's just so quick to get back to his feet. Jamie is a real threat. Anyway, we'll cut back now. Lewis Thomas has come from the field, I believe. Yeah, he's walked himself from the field. That's good news. A few other substitutions for Taroona. Probably, just looking at the clock, 30 minutes there. It's probably more like 17, I reckon. Had a few stoppages. Tavalagi's back on the field. So we can just see now the Bulls with 14 men on. Hopefully they'll be able to use this attacking opportunity to put some points on the board and narrow this margin. Haney staying in, so they're staying in the in this positional play with Haney at halfback, Mack at fly half. But the scrum there has been won by Taroona, and the penalty against them. Taroona with the ball there, but front row there, new front row from Taroona winning there. But again, it's tough for the Bulls when they've only got, when they don't have a full scrum and getting tired. They've defended very hard for this match, so it's makes you weary. Kick from Kazarine, finds touch. Camden Churchill there trying to tap that back in, has been a soldier all day. He's played excellent game of rugby in the number 6. And Taroona with the line out throw inside Devonport's half. And the line out throw goes awry, but it was straight. Graves now picks up the ball, goes for a drive. He's going to have to get himself to ground. He goes to ground now. He dishes it back. Lean. Just straightens up as always. And the ball now goes deep to Kazarine. Tuivasa. Bird out in front of Bird. He can't take it. Manages to get it eventually. Dishes it off to Hall, who catches one around his knees. Steps inside nicely. Cops one over the shoulder there from Tanti as he's going down in the tackle. Nothing Tanti could do in that situation. It was just Hall's body height dropping. Did a good job, Tanti, in the end, not to follow through and cause any problems. And Taroona under pressure at the ruck again. Nipper Hayes there trying to rip that ball away in the tackle, but unable to do so, putting good pressure on again. Eves can't get past Graves, who does a good job pulling DeHaan off him. And I think maybe Yost coming in on the side there, so he's come on and given away a few penalties as Yost. But Eves on the bottom there with too many bodies on top of him. Needs a bit of a break, I think. Lovely shot of the pointer, English pointer, I think, over the back there. Might be a German short-haired pointer, actually. Ball coming down. Good kick there from the Bulls. Bit less than 10 minutes to go. Bryden Lowry for the Bulls there, swinging his arms on the sideline. Young dropped by his lifters. Managed to win the ball, but no, it's gone Taroona's way, and Eves has got it. He's down the sideline. Goes a little chip. It might sit for him. Has he got support? No. Max there. Tanti's there. Hardy gets in, but I think the Bulls are all over that. They are. Great work by Courtney Harris to hold on. Just the support was a little bit too slow to get there for the Penguins, and strong work over the top by Courtney Harris. Turns the ball over. And Luke Bryan will have another chance to kick this ball out of the defensive position. Does so. And substitutions happening. So Lowry, Bryden Lowry coming on. And Sam O'Keefe going to the bench. Quick lift there, Young, no, over the back, finds Bryan, and he takes it to the Taroona line. Quick ball, wide ball now, oh, just sits out in front, and it's stolen by Bird. So the knock on against, they're going to come back, I think potentially a knock on. Ball also stolen from Bird when he was off his feet there. So juggling competition there between Bartavudi and Bird, and in the end Bird went to ground, and I think the ball was taken out of his hands. And at 13 points in front, Taroona captain Anthony Lean decides that he'd like that lead to be more than 2 converted tries, and opts to have a shot. Kane picking up Anthony Lean's motivational words there to Taroona. He's not happy about the Penguins' work at the ruck. The first man there not cleaning out, he says. Kazarine with the kick. Pushes it out to the left, and Tandy's got room. If he can get through here, they're away. He gets past the first 3, but eventually taken. The ball comes out. Spring. Hayes now loses it, but it's gone backwards. And Holman needs to be careful. He's got Young around the head, I think. Just grabbed Matthew Young. I think his arm slipped up a little bit, so. Oh, and he's going to give him a yellow card. Right. Okay. So we've got some substitutions happening. And the ball is kicked very long. So yellow card apiece. We'll see Sam Tabua come back on shortly. He's currently just shaking hands with James Holman. He's actually coming on now. Quick swap for those guys. So James Holman will spend the rest of the game on the sideline. And Taroona down to 14 players. I'm still waiting though. There's a substitution happening. So confusion on the Bulls bench. But Matthew Young comes from the field, and he's replaced by, I think, maybe first gamer for the Bulls, Basil Tagar, who's going to be lifted in the line-out. And they go short, though, which is a good idea. Dehan doesn't take it, but it's one. And then eventually the ball's just sitting there, and Anthony Lean drops over it. He's still holding on to the ball, and it's just utter chaos here at the ruck. Owen Dehan's shirt pulled over his head by Jack Hardy. It's looking like an under-10s match at the moment. And for some reason it ends up with the Bulls. So but yes, plenty of chaos happening out here at the moment, and it's very hard to pick up what's going on. Very hard for me to do it, and I've got a screen in front of me where I can re-watch things. Don't envy referee Fogarty out there at the moment, because there's just so much going on. It's so scrappy that it's very hard for him to pick exactly who to penalise where, really. Anyway, Mack with the ball. Dishes it wide. Bird. Good contact on Tabua, but Tabua met it really nicely and manages to drive forward in that tackle. Now, Tavalagi's got his hands on it. The Bulls, they need a try now. They've got an advantage. Great fend from Curtis. Oh, and the hands out there are exceptional. Luke Bryan playing in fly half for most of the day. He's been really good. Now Mack to Curtis. Got some room. Hardy and Graves take him to ground. Graves needs to roll away quickly. He does. Now Mack looks for a gap. Oh, finds a hole for Tabua. And he gets through, and there it is. There's the points that the Bulls needed. Beautiful ball there. Just finding a space with Sam Tabua running into a hole. Go back and have a look. Just on the front foot all the time here, the Bulls. Penguins just showing a bit of tired game at the end, but Connor Mack here runs the ball to the line and then gets it through the gap. Tabua running straight. Jordan Eddington for the Penguins had burst up out of the line, which made the gap. And that gives the Bulls an opportunity. If they convert this with Luke Bryan right in front, one last chance, a converted try will put them in front. They've been persistent. They're excited. There should be, I imagine, time on the clock. We did have a pretty long injury period earlier for Lewis Thomas. And we have time. Whoops, wrong button, me. So 6 points in it. Can the Bulls come from behind for another famous win up here? They seem to do it pretty regularly on this ground. Running down the hill against a tiring Taroona. Have they got it in them, the Bulls? Can't be a lot of time left on the clock. And it's a high short one. Lean knocks it on. Might have got away with it. I think he did. It looked like a knock on from Lean. So a bit of a let off, I think, there for the Penguins. And they've turned it over. Clayton now hits it to the line. Pressure's on. Curtis causing some problems. But the Penguins still managed to get that ball back through Yost. Lagrange now on the field. Gives it to Kazarine. Out wide to Bird. Gets past that first pressure tackle and the second as well. Finds the ground. And now the ball again. Lagrange to Kazarine. Solid tackling out there by the Bulls again. And the ball's out. I think Bryan comes around and finds it, lays it back. And it's been turned over. And the Bulls now have it. Can they do this? Oh, an extra roll there from Curtis. He's lucky. He had to put that back, though. Needed to be able to do that. Spring held on to Tuivasa. A lot of smiling from the players. It's good to see that there's no ill will out here. It's just a solid game of rugby. Players enjoying themselves. And the Bulls not really making any ground here. They've lost ground, but they've still got the ball, and that's the important thing for them. Tabua pops over the top to Curtis. He bypasses Hayes, though, and Chaperone Tucker sockers. Will it stay in? Oh, it just goes out. So the Bulls, desperation passing over there. And Chaperone Tucker hoping to soccer that one through and dive on it and put an end to the match. But the ball goes out. Hayes in the background there on the left, just taking a rest. He knows there's not much time left and his team needs something if they're going to get out of here. They can't afford to kick it to touch. So he's going to have a rest. And there's a sub. Matthew Young comes back on. Well done, Nipper, crawling off the field in your 250th game. Give him a round of applause. He's been a soldier for this club for a long time, and he deserves the accolades. Great character. And the ball over the back. Taken by Brian. Tavalagi now running it. Mack goes into the halfback position. Tanti, if he can get through, he does! And here we go! He's got the pace, he steps one way, Bird has him! Oh, great work by Bird! Probably doesn't release there though, Bird. And now the Bulls, they've got space out wide. The earlier try scorer, Batavuti's got it. Taken to ground. Oh, this is unbelievable rugby. The Bulls, this has got to be the last opportunity. One mistake and they're done. Curtis has been absolutely unbelievable this half. Tavalagi now, after a 10-minute rest, picks it up and drives. Ball eventually gets back. Oh, lost by Spring. Knocked forward by Lean. Went backwards though, and the ball is back in the hands. And that knocked on by Lean. We're now 46 minutes on the clock. I don't know how there's still time left. And the players are out on their feet here. Unbelievable. Outstanding defence by Ollie Bird to chase down Jamie Tanti earlier. Just waiting for Sam Graves to come in for this scrum. It's a Bulls ball. Oh, they're finally there. Here's just the run. Might go back and see Tanti pick this hole. Here he goes. Steps, gets around Eddington through the gap there, and he was away. Let's go back now to the live action. Ball comes out to that man again, Tanti. And look out. Just dragged down by Lagrange. And same names. Tavalagi picking up and driving through the ruck. Desperation now. Lowry. Taken to ground. Bulls, Curtis straightens up. Bumps off Lagrange. The desperate defence there from the Penguins. Nordstrom taking too long to get out of the way. Gives another penalty to the Bulls. Yost is still down in midfield. Graves all over that ball. And it's been turned over. And again, we're somehow going to keep playing. 48 minutes of time. Curtis, he wants to score it. He's now inside the 5-metre line. Defence there. Who is it? Tabua. They need a try and they need to convert it to come away with the win to the Bulls. They're very close. They've scored it. They have, and it's going to come down to the conversion. Not a lot that Taroona could do. Big body, I think, of Luke Bryan, who scored that one, and it's now 19-20. Great drive here. You can see Luke Bryan picks it up, gets underneath. Taroona trying to claim that he didn't score it. We'll never know. But it's going to come to the conversion. Bulls 1 point behind. And James Holman, who received that yellow card with about 7 minutes to go, has been off for about 16 minutes. Maybe it was less than 7, but it's been the longest, probably the longest yellow card ever. Certainly had enough stoppage time, but high pressure. Memories of the grand final last year here for Taroona. Well, not up here, but the grand final where they were a couple of points up and well into full time after the full time had gone. Launceston kicked the penalty goal to snatch victory and win the flag. Can Brian turn them around here as well? The kick looks good. No, it doesn't. And he's missed it. And so Taroona managed to hang on by the skin of their teeth just to win by a point in an epic 50-minute second half. We certainly don't see that happen very often. We did have probably one key injury break that was about 3 or 4 minutes. But a really great resurgence from the Bulls there. The first sort of 30 minutes they were really looking to struggle, and they were able to turn that around in the second half. So great work to the Bulls, but unfortunately sad for Luke Bryan, who played a great game mostly at fly half. Unable to, though, kick the conversion right at the end and give his team a famous victory. So Taroona Penguins 20, Devonport Bulls 19 in a very, very long and very tense match. That's it, though, for this week. Next week, we've got a bye round, so no men's rugby next weekend. And beyond that, we'll keep you posted via the Tasmanian Rugby Union Facebook page and social media as to where you'll be able to catch the next stream. But we'll enjoy our week off next week. And well done to Taroona for hanging on to a 1-point nail biter.